Hello and welcome to the Life After Wheat kitchen, where we make gluten-free food that actually tastes good. Today I'm going to be showing you how easy it is to make gluten-free cloverleaf rolls that will be ready in 1 hour. The key to making the perfect gluten-free cloverleaf rolls is to start with the right gluten-free flour blend. There are 3 flour blends that I recommend for this recipe: Namaste, GF Jules, and Better Batter. Any of these flour blends will work great, but my favorite for this particular recipe is Namaste. The key to measuring your gluten-free flour is to stir the flour, scoop it into your measuring cup, and then level it off. This ensures that you're not packing too much flour into the measuring cup, and make sure that your product rises the way you want it to. Now that we have our flour measured, we're going to add that to the bowl. And then we're also going to add some yeast, and I prefer instant yeast because it helps the rise come a little bit faster, and sugar. And here we have some salt and a little bit of baking powder, which really helps the gluten-free yeast dough to rise. So now that we have our dry ingredients in, we're going to put our wet ingredients. We'll need 1 egg. And then we'll need some water. You want to make sure that your water is a little warmer than room temperature, not too hot or it will kill the yeast. Then we'll put in some neutral oil. You can use avocado oil or canola or vegetable oil, just something that doesn't have any flavor on its own. And then some Parmesan cheese. I use freshly grated, or you can buy prepackaged grated. And then Italian seasoning. And I like to use Feast Mode Italian Fusion for this, but you can substitute regular Italian seasoning if you'd like. Okay, now that we have all of our ingredients in, then we're going to go ahead and turn on the mixer and mix it until it's smooth. Okay, so let's take a minute and talk about gluten-free yeast dough. It's going to be very different than what you're used to with normal dough. It's going to be a lot stickier, and you're going to want to make sure that you have enough moisture in it so that as the rice-based flours are baking, they're soaking up that moisture and not getting dry and gritty. So the trick to that is to make sure that your dough is nice and sticky. Okay, now we've made our gluten-free dough, and here comes the fun part. Because our dough is so sticky like I just showed you, we're actually going to use some melted butter with a little bit of garlic salt for added flavor. And we're going to put our hands in the butter, and this will keep the dough from sticking to our hands, and also, like I said, give it a little bit more flavor. So we're going to pinch a little bit off, roll it into a ball, and because we're making cloverleaf rolls, we're going to put 3 balls into each muffin cup, just like that. And every few, you're going to want to get your hands into the butter again so that the dough doesn't stick. And now we're going to cover the rolls with a layer of plastic wrap. Just do it loosely. You don't want to tuck it in because you want the rolls to be able to rise easily. Okay, here's what our cloverleaf rolls look like once they've risen. You can see that they're above the rim and they're ready to go in the oven. We're going to bake these at 350 degrees. And now you know how easy it is to make gluten-free rolls that actually taste good. Look at these. Just like the rolls that you've always known and loved, but gluten-free. If you would like to try more gluten-free recipes that actually taste good, then be sure to go to my website at thereislifeafterwheat.com and follow @lifeafterwheat on social media.